Today we are going to discuss about how to transfer the data from an Excel source uh, into SAP HANA using SAP Data services. Right. So first we will create a source file with some data into it. For example, we can create the data of an employee. So this employee may be having some attributes to him. Say that employee ID, employee name, and salary and HRA. So you have various employees data here. We have 10 sets of employee data in this. So you have this sheet as the employee data.xlsx. So you can save it into your folder. So we have saved it into my documents, and employee data.xlsx is its name. So this is the source we have. So we want to bring this source into SAP HANA. So for that we need to create our target ready available. So we have in SAP Data Services we will create a target and source. So for the data which we are going to get into from the external sources like non-database sources, we will be getting that into the formatters. These formatters will be used to handle all these files. For example, you have flat files, SDF files, nested schemas, COBOL copybooks, and Excel workbooks. So now this file is our Excel workbook, so we have to create a formatter under the type Excel workbooks. So just right click on this Excel workbooks in the format here and choose new. When you choose new, it will be asking you to enter the name of this. For example, I am entering JH_EMP data formatter. So this formatter, if I know the fields, I can just enter the fields here. The field name like employee ID. If I enter the field name EMP ID, and what is the data type of it? So data type of it can be if it is a varchar, you just put varchar, and what is the size of this data field. This data field may be varying from 10 to 15, so I am just giving 15 here as the maximum size. Leave the other fields as it is. For example, other things, salary is a field which is not of type varchar, which is a double value. So when it is a double value, it will be asking you, not asking you anything. Double will hold the floating point value after a certain. So in this way you can add the description of all the fields whatever that you have here. So that is one way of creating this field. Once you have done, you can just mention the directory where you have this thing. Just select the folder in which you have your source file. I have my source file in my documents of this user, and you just go to the file name and choose the file, select file here. So this is the file that we have, employee data.xlsx. Select the file and just click on open. So now you have access methods, whether you want to specify the sheet name, if you know the sheet names. So I know the sheet names. I have a sheet number, sheet, etc. Sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, or if you have any other names here in this sheet. Sheet name is nothing but this name of whatever that name that you have given here. Or directly worksheet methods, you can go and here you just use the sheets 1, 2, 3. Select this, and whether you want to get all the fields or custom range, whether you want to take a field from column A to column B, or all the columns that you want to use. We can use the report match and all these things, constants for that. Otherwise it is better you get everything into this data. Use the first row values as column names. Use the first row values as column names. So the data, the first row is a column name, not the actual data of the employee. If you are unselecting this, if you would not select this checkbox, that means you have the data right from the first field, right from the first row itself it will collect that. So if, as already we have entered two fields here, if you don't want to enter the fields in this way here in the schema, you just click on import schema, which will fetch you all the column names from that. But possibly it will analyze that what type of data it is. If you want to change this data type, you can change the data types. So remaining salary double, HRA double, that's fine for me. Now in this way you can create the schema for all your fields, or you can enter manually one after the other based on your requirement, however you want to do. So this is the easy way. You can just import and if you modify any of the fields if you want. So now your employee JH_EMP data formatter is created, and this showing 0, that means you have not yet used this formatter in any of the places. Now the source side is created. Here you see you didn't have any data, just we have created a metadata of this here. Now we will go to the data mart, data stores. So you have to create a specific data store for your type of data source. If you have your data as your data source, suppose HANA DS was one of the data source that we have created some time back. So this is one of the data source that you can create, and you can map it with, for example, here you have all the fields of it, all the details of it. When you just create one, if you want to create one, you can create it. So now in this, if you know the table already existing, some table, you can just import the schema. Otherwise here we can create a template table of it. So right now I am going to create a template table. Right click on this. Okay, now you can directly go to, we have a data source and we can use this data source for that. Now you go to this project here, you open a project or you create a new project if you want. We have the projects already created, so that's the reason I'm just directly going to open the project, and in this project I'm going to create a batch job. Now new batch job, you can create a new batch job saying that transfer from Excel to HANA. This is the name that we are given to. Okay, so it doesn't allow you to have any spaces in between. JH Excel to HANA EMP data. So this is one of the batch jobs that I am going to create. So once you have created a batch job, you just double click on this, so this batch job area is opened here. So in this you can just add some data flow. Right click on this and add new data flow. This name is EMP Excel to HANA Just once you have done changed the name, just double click on this. Now we have to map our formatters, and we have to create how the data flow should go from where to where. My source is emp underscore data. This is the source data source, and my target will be a template table. So I'm just creating, just drag the template table of your data source. As a target into this. When you just dragging it, it will ask you to enter the name. Enter the table name here as JHEMP detail. Whatever the table name that you want to use, you can give the table name, but table name should be unique in your schema. Once you have done that, if you just want to just load that, you can just give the line. Otherwise, if you want to make any transformations, you can use a query here. Right click on this, add new, and query. Add new query. You can name this query as Excel to HANA, and and now this is, you see here, you can use it as only as a source, and link these two. Once you have done that, just if you want to make any transformations, now you have to map the source columns to the target columns. So you have to double click on the query. So now your template table doesn't contain anything, so you want to move, this is your source schema, and this is schema out is the target schema. So you just select all the fields of this and move to target schema. In one shot, everything is mapped between here. And if you have any specific things, you can only select them, or if you want to put some clauses, you can write some queries here. You can just give some conditions, etc. here if you have huge set of data. Now once you have done that, you just click on this. So validate current validates the query that you have created. Now you just go back to your data flow here. So now you click on validate all. So everything is validated. Now you save all, save everything into your JAP. Now you are done with your things. Now you come and see here your, so JHEMP details. This is the template table created here. Do we have any data here in this view data? So your doesn't contain any data here in this database error message. Actually, this table is not yet created in the database. Now we will go to HANA Studio and we will check in the HANA, check in this particular, check in our schema. So do we have any table with this JHEMP details, so that later once we created it, we transfer the data, we will check that how that will be there. Only you got this structure here, so that structure is available there in that. So or where once that table is created, table should be available in the catalog. You have HANA user is the name that we are logged in. So you can see this in the HANA user. You have tables. Just check J. Don't have any. JHUEMP details is there, but JHEMP underscore details is not yet available. This is the table. So now we go ahead and execute this job from here. Right click on this and execute, or you just click execute here. So in one batch job you can create more than one data flows and you can execute all of them. I am executing the batch job, so it is executing the data flow in turn. So just click on S, it is going to execute. While executing, you select a job server or server group. By default it will be available to you from which server that you are going to create. So now once execution is done, you can see the success is terminated due to enter, data flow is completed, is terminated due to error. What is the error? Data flow Excel to HANA, data flow EMP Excel to HANA, data flow I could not access Excel file. Yeah. I forgot to close this file. Yeah. So you should remember that you have to close your files, otherwise your read privileges, it is locked for you. So the data services will not be able to access the file. That is the access violation errors. Data flow pressing here. Please make sure the Microsoft Access database engine is properly installed. Access database engine not open or write to the file. It is already opened exclusively by another user, or you need permission to view and write its data. So that means here we got the error. This file is already opened exclusively by another user, that already we know. We will come back and we will execute this again. So just execute it. It means every time when we are going to use any of the file, we have to make sure that the file is closed. Now you see the log is data flow EMP Excel to HANA is completed successfully. Process to execute data flow is completed successfully. So your batch job, your data flow, everything is executed successfully. So now you come here and right click on this template table, HANA ds.HANA user, and you click on your view data. You see you have this 10 records available in this. This is the data store that we have in the data services, but whether this is properly replicated into a HANA user schema in this or not. You just come to the formatters as well. You see this formatter now, DH_EMP data is used once in one of the data flow. Now go to HANA Studio, you just refresh it. Refresh the table. This is JHEMP details table is created here. You can see the structure, EMP ID varchar 15, EMP name varchar 255, salary is double, HRA is double. Now you go and view the data in this. So right click here and open content. See the data. So this is how you can transfer the data by using data from Excel sources or Excel files to HANA database, and you can see by using HANA SAP data services, and you can see the data which is available here in the SAP HANA database. Thank you. Thanks for watching the videos. If you want to watch more videos about HANA, and you can subscribe to my channel, and if you have any queries, please do not hesitate to post the queries in the comments section, so that on timely basis I can reply back to your queries whenever it is appropriate. Thank you. Thanks one and all for watching my videos.